Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you might care about. That being said, we've got a couple highlight things to talk about. The first is something that was announced last week, right after I got done with last week's news video, and something that I predicted in the previous week before that news video. And if you remember, I said that Brandon Began would be on Stranger, covering my mouth because I blocked out what I actually said when I actually said that he was going to be on Cult. Play the clip right now. Brandon Began is off fit and on Cult, and if I'm wrong, everybody can tell me I'm wrong in the future. And had I left that in my video, I would look like a genius right now, but no, I didn't. I changed it, and I shouldn't have. Either way though, Brandon Began is now on Cult, and there's a video to go along with it called There's No Turning Back Now. And with that being said, I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this move from the side of Brandon and from the side of Cult, so let me know in the comments down below. You can also find a link to the video in the description down below, along with links to everything else that I'm going to talk about today in the order that I talk about it. And then after that, I wanted to quickly talk about Chad Kerley's Flatground game of bike, because the video from this event came out this past week, and if you watch the video you'll see what I mean here. But this event really brought together so many people within BMX. Not only were there young kids there and entered into the game, but there was also older dudes there entered into the game, and they all had to play against each other. Then there were also pros there that are current day pros, as well as pros from back in the day. Troy McMurray and Dave Volker were at this event watching, and Dave Volker's son is the one who actually won it. And that's not even it. There were Flatland dudes in the mix as well, playing against everyone. So this event just really brought a ton of people together within BMX, and it seemed like a very positive thing. And with Cole Volker winning the event and being sponsored by a bike company, he gave the frame that he won to someone else who needed it. So all around, this was a super positive thing, and I would love to see more events like this happening within BMX. The next thing I want to talk about is actually a someone that I and probably a lot of you out there think is completely underrated in BMX as far as the mainstream industry side of things goes. Everyone knows how amazing of a rider Tom Justice is, and this video that he just put out completely it's insane. Every single clip in this video is nuts, and he's one of the only people out there who's doing big burly tech stuff like the gigantic Fufanu that opens this video, and also doing gigantic spinning tricks over box jumps and flare whips and stuff like that. He can go from doing a foof on the biggest sub rail you've ever seen to hitting a spine and doing a 360 tuck no hander both directions, and doing both of them so good that you have no idea which one was his regular and which one was his opposite. I have no idea how Tom Justice isn't a bigger name in BMX. We've all heard of him, but I just feel like he doesn't get the credit he deserves, and he's not at the level that he should be as far as the BMX industry goes. So with that being said, you need to watch his new video that just came out. How does this video only have 3,300 views at the time of recording this, when there's other stuff out there where people don't even leave the ground that gets tens of thousands of views? I don't get it. And that leads us into the rest of what we have to talk about today. The first is one more piece of sponsorship news. This is a welcome to Merritt BMX video for Lorenzo Mesa. If you enjoy new school BMX street riding whatsoever, you're going to love this video. It's got a good vibe and a ton of crazy new school tech BMX grind, bar spin, tail whip, grind 180 riding in it. And then there was a seriously massive truck driver at the very end of this one. That brings us into contest and jam news, where the first thing that I want to talk about is a whole bunch of Vans BMX Pro Cup Tour 2019 Mexico City highlights coverage. The first thing is a highlights video from the regional qualifier of this, where the winners were Michael Mugalin in first, then we had Parker Heath in second, and Jaden Mucha in third. So if you want to check out the regional qualifier portion of this, check that video out. Then we had a general highlights video from Vans themselves, then some videos from Our BMX, including a best trick highlights video where Kevin Peraza did a flare whip to fakie over a double coping spine that was 5 or 6 feet tall. That trick alone is worth watching the entire video for, because I'm sure no one's ever done that before, and he's probably one of the only people, if not the only person, who's ever had the balls to try it. Imagine the risk factor that's involved with that one. literal insanity. And if there's one thing that you watch this week, I feel like that's something that you have to see. Then we've got women's finals highlights as well as a best whip highlights video from Our BMX. And the winners of this event, as far as the finals and the bigger contest part goes, are third place Larry Edgar, second place Gary Young, and first place Jason Watts for the men's side of things. Then for the women, we've got in third Maka Perez, in second we've got Paris Benegas, then in first we've got Natalia Diem. Then for the best whip contest, we had Corey Walsh taking the win for the men, and then Paris Benegas winning for the women. When it comes to best trick, we've got Kevin Peraza with the trick that I already told you about, taking the win for the men. And then for the women, Angie Marino won with a box jump transfer that you can see in the video if you watch it. And that's it for the Vans contest coverage. We've got one other contest highlights video that was put up this week, and that is the Boilie Jam 2019 highlights video. It's just under 9 minutes long, and there is so much insanity in this video. They had a whole bunch of different contests there, with Crandall there giving money away for all of them. They had a rail contest, a high air contest, what looked like a rhythm box jump contest, where someone did a double backflip on a box jump made of pallets. BMX is that crazy these days that people are out there doing double backflips off of pallet jumps. Kinda insane. That brings us into the videos from this week. The first one that I want to talk about is an upload of Tate Roskelley's headlights section to the Our BMX YouTube channel. It's already got 1 billion views on it, so you've probably already seen it if you hadn't from the video itself. But if you haven't seen this video, you need to watch it, because Tate does some absolutely mind-bending stuff, just like he always does, and Mike Mastroni captures it beautifully with his video work. Next up, we'll keep the outside the box thinking train going here with a video from William Kass called Unusual BMX Tricks by William Kass. If you guys are fans of people like Tate Roskelley who think outside the box and do things that you don't see every day, this is definitely a good one for you to watch. It's mostly filmed at Skateparks, so it takes that outside the box creative thinking, throws it into the confines of what a skate park has to offer, and spits out the riding of William Kass. And I think that if you guys enjoy that type of riding, you'll definitely enjoy this video. And after that is a few more videos that I thought were worth mentioning, but I didn't quite want to talk in depth about. The first is Jamie Thayer's The Way Out DVD section. This is an absolute hammer of a street video part, so if you guys are looking for some street stuff, this is definitely one to check out. Then after that, we've got a more park orientated video for you guys from Joel Bondu called Going Around. So if you like the bar spin, tail whip, flare type riding, that's one that you'll enjoy. Then we've got the flip side of things, a video from Stephen Hamilton called Drug Companies, where it's exactly what you guys have grown to love from Stephen Hamilton, and I actually filmed a few clips that are in this video. After that, we've got another video that I filmed a few clips for, and that is Montana Ricky's Summer Moves video that just came out. And the last video to talk about this week is Irek Rizaev, and it's a video from Red Bull where they follow him around with a drone, and it has some of the craziest BMX filming that I have ever seen before. You've probably already seen a clip from it floating around social media, but if you haven't and you enjoy watching crazy and creatively filmed videos, this is definitely one for you. And that brings us to the product related things, where we only have one thing to talk about this week, and that is Madeira's Seel'd guard sprocket. Basically, this is Eric Elstrand's signet sprocket, but without any of the internal machining on it, so it's a completely solid guard sprocket. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it's going to be strong, and it uses their adapter technology. So you buy the adapter that fits your spindle for your cranks, and then this sprocket just fits onto that adapter. So theoretically, this should fit onto any crank set and spindle that is out there. Whether you need 19 or 22 millimeter bolt-on or spline drive, or 24 millimeter bolt-on, this thing should fit them all. And that brings us into the interview section from this week. The first and only thing I have to talk about here is Steve Crandall's school bus tour from Our BMX. Basically, they give an entire tour of the school bus that is Crandall's mobile home. That sounds bad, but that's the most accurate way to describe it, because it's Crandall's house on wheels that he can drive wherever. So it's a mobile home. This is an interesting one, and it gives a little bit more insight into Crandall and his home life. So if you guys are interested in that one, you can check it out in the links in the description below. And that's going to do it for this week's BMX news video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, or you had something that you want to talk about, let me know in the comments down below, especially if I missed something, because I'm one person doing all of this, can't catch everything. So let me know. And if you did enjoy it and you're new here, hit the subscribe button down below. I want to thank you for being here and watching, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, for another video. Goodbye.